What is going on? Why is it a black square? Give me a moment. Anyways, hi, hello, Rod. How's it going? Why this be black square? Oh, I know why. Because this isn't broadcasting. This one's actually a fairly easy fix. You're doing great yourself. I'm glad to hear. I'm doing quite fine. Yeah, I know what the issue is. For some reason, I'm not broadcasting my thing, so it's not showing up. There it is. Don't know how I actually pressed that, but it should be fixed now. So today, we'll be doing more coffee talk because I really enjoy that game. I want to play more of it, so we're doing that. Alright, goodbye. But Coffee Talk has just as good of a soundtrack, so if not, probably better. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Afraid to recommend stuff. Don't be afraid, Rod. So far, I technically you also did recommend me Deltarune Chapter 2. But that was really more just saying, hey, did you know it's coming out? So it is showing up. Cool. Oh my god. Wow, I'm nowhere near through. Delete. Alright, but yeah, is my mouth is not moving? What you say? So it is not. Oh, why? It should be. Hello? Oh no. Hello? Oh, god damn it. What the hell happened? Apparently there's mods. I don't know what else that would be there. Settings. Sounds. Is this better? Huh? Okay, cool. I decided to do another calibration, so everything should be okay now. Right? Is it? I think it is. Mod list. Yeah, there is a mod. Mods. Here, I'll take a look at the Steam Workshop real quick. Seems fine? Okay. Oh my god, there's some people here who are really good with the latte art. And there's me. I can't even make a damn circle. Is there? Workshop? Is there a workshop? It seems better now. What's this one? Interesting. There's most of the mods I'm seeing in here are either content mods or voiceover mods. Funny, I was just waiting. Gotcha. Alright, well, let's just continue. On the Minecraft server, in case you're interested, I finally got my dream pickaxe. I've upgraded it to netherite. It has mending and fortune 3 on it. And I was able to get over 640 iron from the iron vein. So I'm just waiting for that to smelt. Welcome. Oh. Good evening, sir. Hello. I'm from the Federal Immigration Regulation and Enforcement Division. Or FIRE for short. How may I help you? We've heard reports of alien sightings in this area. We take the issue of illegal interstellar immigration seriously. Have you seen any creature you would consider to be alien in nature? I don't think so. But what should I be looking for? What's the alien look like? Ever get to the point of changing my modem config? That just means we need to send you a PC now. So we just get a PC, buy a PC right now, and get overnight shipping. We're not 100% sure, but according to some eyewitnesses, it's wearing a spacesuit or something similar. That's a pretty eye-catching outfit. You think an illegal alien would try to blend in better, right? To avoid attention, you know? That is a very good point. In fact, there might be a solid possibility that we've been running around after false testimonies. They are superior creatures, after all. Thank you for the help. If you see any suspicious activities, please contact us through our website. Will do, sir. You don't want to drink anything before leaving? We're good. Take care on your way. We're. I thought it was just you. Why are you saying we are? Whew. You need to be more careful, Neil. Huh? Oh, hey, the nerds. Good evening, Mallory. Yo. Hello, Miss Aqua, Miss Myrtle. Have you both been somewhere together? We planned to meet here. It's just coincidence we arrived at the same time. Would you like to order anything? Do you want to order first? The nerds. Yeah, that's what they are. Nah, you go first. Okay. Can I have a cup of green tea with a lot of mint? Green tea with a lot of mint. Marrakesh. Your drink's ready. Ooh. This looks really fresh. Oh, Rod, by the way, I was able to look at the poll. Thorn mentioned, right? Yeah, Thorn mentioned yesterday about the new plush. And just for your sake, I put down Aqua. Anime, hi, hello. Oh no. If you feel sickly and your dad tested positive for COVID, you should stay quarantined and rest up and, just relax. I hope you feel better, Anime. I call this Marrakesh, inspired by its origin. Yeah, I'm recommending rest. Marrakesh in Morocco? Got my booster the other day, though. Now, I haven't gotten the booster myself, but my friend said it just felt like a flu shot to them. It's nothing but a sore arm, but I've heard other people are having sort of similar issues that they had with the second shot, but that only lasted like the day of and like the day after and maybe the day after that. So hopefully it's just that. People that really love tea. Let's give this a try then. Testing negative with that at-home tester. Home really for how sick you felt. Well, hopefully it's not COVID, right? I mean, you might have to get one of the the deep nose tests just to make sure. But I know not a lot of people for that. It's warm, but very refreshing. No wonder Morocco is often associated with tea. How about you, Miss Myrtle? Do you want to order right away? Sure. The Tatarik. The fuck is Tatarik? Do I even have that in here? You don't say this one's hard. This one's new. Lover of bright moonlight, believer in life without fight, big fan of art and poetry. You milk and then you feel comfortable going to work while feeling its way. Yeah, that's probably that's probably the best bet there. Yeah, say maybe go to just like get either the nasal test or just like not the other kind of chill test. The Tarik. Honey and cinnamon, maybe? Oh, God, I don't know. Milk, condensed milk, and milk cream. Wait, it's tea and then milk? So you're saying it's this and then just this? Here, let's try it. We can just trash it. Unless you want to... Unless you think it's something else, Rod. Try it? Okay. Tea latte. Nope. Data barely any symptoms of COVID. I mean, what is it? Most people normally have what, like 2 weeks or so when they have it. So I'd say at most you've had it for 2 weeks, if that. But having too many symptoms for it to be just through the booster. Well, I mean, if one was an optimist, you could say it is just the booster. But if one's a realist, tea, cinnamon, and milk. Okay. But hopefully it's just you're being a little bit under the weather. Yo, Spencer, hello, how's it going? We're trying to make coffee for this orc. Something we have no idea what it is. Cinnamon milk tea. No. You love coffee talk? Oh, nice. Alright, Spencer, out of curiosity then, do you know what this drink is? The Tarik? We don't. Rod says it has something to do with milk, and we've tried twice, and we've failed twice. And of course, I don't have it in my little tea thing here. Is tea at my stream? Aww. You're gonna search it up? Alright. September 30th, 2020. No. You get far in this game. You googled a lot of drinks. I think this is the first one we're actually googling. Hopefully, yeah. Maybe it's just a cold as opposed to worst case scenario. Maybe you just have a regular flu as opposed to the bad one. Staying isolated, we need to get more tests. Yeah, true. Bailey's. What's this next one? Freelance designer, museum and art gallery frequenter, art school graduate, will draw and design for food and shelter. Tea milk? Oh. We were close there, Rod. We were close on that first try. We had tea milk. Here's your Tarik. Huh? Is there anything wrong? No. It's better than I thought it would be, actually. The taste is really authentic. Just like the Tarik you get in Southeast Asia. Thank you for the compliment. Oh, where did you learn to make it? I traveled around Southeast Asia for a few years ago. Yes, totally. So you learned about it in Malaysia? Yes, and from videos on the internet. So, how are things going in the office? As usual. Yeah, anime. I know I've already sort of said this a couple of times. I wish you the best, and I hope everything. I hope you power through this. Powering. Well, thanks to you and your team, we've made some good progress with the problem we've been stuck on for a while. Oh wow, she's smiling. I'm glad I could be of help. It's not every day our research can have an impact as direct as this. Only a few weeks after publication, no less. Thing is, even with your help, we still need to do a ridiculous amount of overtime. Yes, Gala. I have met Gala. I just, spoilers maybe not, I just talked to an agent from Fire. That was my first interaction with him. I'm not halfway through. On the progress bar, I said I was like an eighth of the way through. But I don't know if progress means everything, so we still need to do a ridiculous amount of overtime to make sure the game will be available for the holiday season. Oh. I want to say please don't forget to rest, but I'm sure it won't be easy for you and the team. Yes, I did. As if those executives care about us. Overtime is not mandatory, they'll say. Please, you see your family, get some rest. But we all know. Wrong choice, and then he just Googled it. That optional overtime is a passive-aggressive move. We'll stay longer in the office anyway. Yeah, the Galahad drink is one of the easier ones. For Neil, I accidentally ended up making Lementhol, which is milk, mint, and lemon. I discovered it sour and cool with a hint of home. So that's a nice little custom one I have in there. Because if you go home earlier than the others, you'll feel bad for them. You'll feel guilty. I understand so much. I hate to admit it, but yeah, it's guilt. And figure out with hints. Yeah. Tetra, yeah, it's just TT milk. Duh, of course. You couldn't tell from the name? And whatever Neil's drink is. I wish I could help you. Or at least say something to boost your morale. Sadly, I'm not the right person to give you advice about that. For guilt is something that also bothers me a lot. Even for things I shouldn't feel guilty about. And you know what makes it worse? I know the state of the industry. But it still saddens me to realize that my favorite series was born out of such sacrifice. Damn. I'm sorry I ruined the mood for everyone. Don't worry about it, Aqua. Stopping by to say hi. Alright, yeah, no problem. Thanks for popping in, Spencer, for going to bed. Good night, Sequel and Sweet Dreams, and maybe you'll be at the SMP event tomorrow, so I'll see you maybe then. Anyways, yeah, goodbye. Or good night. Don't worry about it, Aqua. I'm not that bad off, you know. At least the company gives us decent compensation. Healthcare, bonuses, and so on. And we're already used to this. So don't you worry about me, okay? Getting used to unhealthy working conditions shouldn't be a norm. Hey, cheer up. Remember, your research helped us out a lot. Thanks to you, the rest of the development team is going to be much easier. Frazel, hi, hello, how's it going? How's your day been? Here comes the boy. How's your game doing, by the way? Actually, I have some good news about it. Oh, what is it? The game got approved to be showcased at Max West this year. Max West, funny. That's really good news. Congrats. Thank you. So, what's the problem then? I haven't confirmed my attendance to the organizer. Why? Confirm it fast, before they give your spot to another indie. I'm just not sure about it. Just woke up thinking about what you should make for breakfast. Eggs. You gotta get some eggs in there. Some nice toast maybe with some jelly on it too. Toast and jellies. Always one of my go-tos. Or maybe pancakes. Pancakes are pretty good as well. What's stopping you? Cost. The booth is free for indies. That's good then. And the event's even in Seattle. You don't need to spend anything on travel or accommodation. It's a golden ticket. But I'm not that confident. You passed the selection process, right? That should be enough validation to reassure you of the game's quality. If I'm not mistaken, the judges are usually prolific people in the industry, and also senior journalists. I know. I've told you about my game, right? It's pretty non-traditional. Thousands of people will be visiting Max, expecting Full Metal Conflict and other bigger games. Every game has its own market, you know? And you'll be in the indie area. People know what to expect there. Gamers aren't stupid. Most gamers aren't stupid. An omelet on toast? Oh, that sounds nice. What if some haters visit the booth? What if they don't like my game and say bad things about it? Or about me? That's not gonna happen. It's an expo, not the internet. People way nicer in real life. What about me then? Yeah. You're brighten up anyone's day, Rod. Even after all that, I'll still be there by myself for the whole event. That one is a problem, yeah. Meeting that many people is already scary enough. Doing it for 4 days straight? Showing my baby to the public? I just can't imagine the horror. You know what? So far, my schedule is pretty empty around that. If things stay this way until Max, I'll come with you. Self-proclaimed gamer, neat and dumb. I wouldn't say you're dumb. I would agree with the neat part, though. No, you don't have to do that. Even if you're free, then. You shouldn't waste your time on me. Relax or something. Nah, it's no bother. I'll be going to the event anyway. Might as well come with an exhibitor badge. What about your company's booth? Don't worry about it. There are hundreds of us. I can just ask my lead to skip this year. But, I'm coming with you. Whether you like it or not. Oh, okay. Good. Now, what are you going to show the game on? I'll have a laptop and a smartphone. Hits on the heart. Oof. Is the Expo build ready? Expo build? You're not planning to showcase the full version, right? That's the plan. Don't. If I can give you the guidelines on what to have for the Expo build. Do you have the game with you now? It's on my phone. I can send you the build now if you want. Do so. Okay. Got it. Now, let's see. You can call it a need is different. Oh. Sorry to hear. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you're into that. No, I kid. Hello, Miss Rachel. Hi, Mallard. Survived. Games did worse before. True that. What's wrong? Huh? Nothing. I've just been practicing all day and I'm pretty tired. Are you having a concert soon? Don't even start, Rod. Don't tell anyone yet. It'll be announced tomorrow. We're going to perform at Coachella next week. They're still adding new performers? Yeah, you might say that those announced this late are backups. Oof. Oh. But it's still the biggest festival in the country. Yeah. I'm excited for it. I think I should celebrate with a special drink. Something sweet. What do you want to order? A sweet hot chocolate. A sweet, and then hot. And chocolate. Ooh. It's sweet, and the warm's on par with the bitter. What if we go this? I'm just trying things out. I don't want bitter to go up. Or cool. We could do what, honey? No, that doesn't make it any warmer. I guess cinnamon's the only thing that'll make it warm and sweet. So we do that. Sure. Asking for a hot chocolate. She said a sweet hot chocolate. Green tea. Dark chocolate. I don't have any of these discovered. Uh-oh. Let's just try this. Cinnamon chocolate. Yeah, I'll serve this. Worst case scenario, I mess up. Here's your order. Thank you. How is it? I don't think this is what. Rip. I mean, it's a cup of hot chocolate, but there's nothing special about it. It's cinnamon in there. Well. Mistakes happen. Please don't hesitate to call me if you need anything else. Thanks. Other than the instruction on the loading screen, try putting a time limit on how long they can play. Why? Wouldn't that break their immersion? Probably, but in case there's a good reaction to it, you might have people lining up to play your game. The Spanish Sahara. Maybe. Don't want to make them wait too long. That makes sense. If you don't want to put a time limit on it, try ending the demo with a cliffhanger. That should get people's attention. Noted. Final one today. Dad? What are you doing here? After what you did at the studio this evening, I was worried I couldn't find you anywhere around the studio. So I thought you'd be here. But we cannot just limit ourselves to this place. And now you're causing another ruckus. We're sorry, Mallard. We didn't mean to cause you any problems. You are sorry. I don't have anything to be sorry for. Well, anyway, I better order something. What are you having? What would you recommend? Spanish Sahara. What is that? Milk and ginger. Sounds delicious. Take that Spanish Sahara. With milk and ginger? Like that? No, that's milk and cinnamon. Milk and ginger. Your drink is ready, sir. My. This is amazing. Glad you liked it. Dad? Yes? Please just go home after you finish your drink. Not until you leave that good-for-nothing pervert. I need him. He's going to help me become more successful. I know, Morris. He's not a good person. The industry has changed, Dad. It's not like 20 years ago. Besides, since he left, he's been growing his brand, making his name. Managing a lot of stars so they become superstars. I still have my informants in the industry. He hasn't changed much. And even if he has, it wasn't for the better. We were just being paranoid. First, you were afraid of how many fans would treat me. Now you're afraid of the industry too. What's next? You lock me in the house because you're afraid of the air I'm breathing. You're just too young to understand. Then make me understand. Because this is definitely not helping. There are better ways. Didn't you learn anything from Mom? You were together for almost 15 years. But you learned nothing. Not even how to talk to your own daughter. Rachel, I'm sorry. But I'm trying, okay? Try harder. Because right now, you're not helping anyone. Not me, not you, no one. I know. But give me a chance. You know what? It'll take time for me to learn, but I am learning. Or, I could return to the industry. I could try to be your manager. Dad, are you out of your mind? You've been out of touch for so long. I told you, I have informants there. I'm not that out of touch. Now, Rachel being straight up savage right now. Of course, there are things that need to figure out. But it doesn't work like that way, Dad. You know what? You know that. Going from a girl band to a solo career won't be easy. If I take things slow, I'll lose all my momentum. You don't want me to be a manager. Can you at least choose someone other than Morris? I don't think so. Mr. Lester is at the height of his career now. I have, Rod. And it's gonna be a surprise. He's my best chance right now. Don't be too paranoid, okay? I've made my decision. Now, please go home. Relax. And don't ever come to the studio again. I'm going back there. I need to practice for the festival. It's only a few days away. And it's a big chance to boost my presence as a solo artist. Is that sarcasm I detect, Rod? When are you going to be home? I don't know. I'll be staying at the hotel the label provided. Still need to finish yours? What do you still need to finish, Rod? What part of yours still needs to be finished? Because it's level 5 characters, so you need to pick a feat, your subclass, and then all the other stuff you pick at level 1. But that's spells. Oh yeah, spells too. Yeah. It just depends on what you want. Background isn't necessarily as important unless it's a character you'll be using consistently in a large campaign. For one shots like this though, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Unless you have a really great vision for it, then I say go for it. But yeah, spells, I'd say have a nice balance between damage spells and utility spells, because both you find a chance for both of those to come into use. See you, Dad. Wait, Rachel. Excuse me for a moment, Mallory. I'm sorry about what just happened. You don't have to apologize. Yeah, we were busy minding our own business anyway. What? You didn't hear their argument, Myrtle? Of course I heard them. I just chose to ignore most of it. None of my business, is it? That's amazing. What's so amazing about that? I don't think I can do that. Dividing and focusing my attention so completely. So divine. If a part would be on my actual spell slots. Ah, gotcha. Especially when there's an argument like that. Are you saying you weren't listening to my advice? You were focusing on them instead? Yeah. No, I was listening. I made notes. See, you didn't even realize. But you're still capable of focusing your attention. Now that you mention it, it happens naturally, I guess. Being born into a big family is useful after all. Yeah, sometimes we don't even realize what we're capable of doing. By the way, you want to head back now? Yeah, it's pretty late. Yo, Mal, we're leaving. Hope you had a good time. Thank you for the drinks, as usual. You take care on your way home. I guess it's all for it. Oh, you're back, Mr. Hendry. Are you alright, sir? Sir? Oh, yes, yes. Please don't worry about me. Did you manage to catch up with Miss Rachel? I mean, the Pacific Northwest is known for its rain. So, where I live, it rains for winter. So, I wouldn't say necessarily 24/7, but, yeah. During fall to winter and spring, it rains like the majority of the year in some parts. No, I lost her. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm sure she's alright. I hope you're right. By the way, pardon me for asking. Yes? Throughout your arguments with Miss Rachel, something kept bugging me. What's that? Why'd you leave the music industry? Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Pacific Northwest, any part of it, really, I think not any part of it, the more urban areas, right? Because that's, is definitely a place to, like, very opening and accepting, you know? You might say it's a bit hippie, but, like, a lot of people are usually fairly chill. Now that's a trip down memory lane. You don't have to tell me if that makes you uncomfortable. Oh no, it's fine. I left around 20 years ago. Just we were welcoming the beginning of the new millennium. It was a great time for girl bands, you know? They were huge in the 90s. And they were still enjoying the leftover sensation of the past decade. I met my wife while working. She worked for a record label. That's how we met. I decided to get married and settle down. I wanted a peaceful life. Didn't find peace managing girl bands. Oh gosh, no. The politics, the dark side of the industry. None of it's good. What hit me the hardest was the fans. Toxic fans are the worst. Teenage girls especially. They were crazy about their idols. Really? Teenage girls. To the point they started doing really unimaginable stuff. Like what? Spending all their money trying to copy the superstar lifestyle, abandoning their responsibilities, their families. And the men, they were even worse. They sexualized the girls in every way you could possibly imagine. Edited photos, stalking, outright sexual assault. It was before the internet, mind you. I mean, the internet existed, but it wasn't the mainstream as it is now. I wasn't even the target of the abuse. But it haunted me. It was everywhere. Don't talk to me about peace. I couldn't sleep back then. Not getting enough sleep is dangerous for cats. What do you do for a living now? After we got married, my wife and I opened a record store. It's not big, but we have a very specific audience. We're niche, but they love us for it. Record stores are fairly chill. I like them. It's more than enough for our little family. So you're still in touch with with your friends in the music industry? They visit my place from time to time, and we all meet up at least once a year. Usually it's at my place. Gosh, look at the time. I should go home too. Are you going to be alright by yourself? Don't worry about me. I'm an old cat. We're stronger than most people think. See you later, Mallard. And sorry, we're bringing our fight to your place. Don't worry about it. Alright, then goodbye. And that is all for the night. Hey, Russian tea. Despite the name, it's totally American drink. What's in the news here? Yeah, that's something I also noticed. Freya was absent. Thursday, October 1st. 2020. Coachella organizer reminds parents not to allow their children to attend unsupervised. Rachel Florencia confirmed to perform at Coachella 2020. Jill Nyman and Maruki Harukami to collaborate for new IP. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil, you come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There is definitely something that you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me? What? Is it possible for us to work here? Why? We have learned something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth, and Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows our mind to learn that you need to mix between verbal and non-verbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skills improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it's not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned, we learned them here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy, indeed. That is why we asked you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not sure about this. You know, normally if you're applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through certain processes before you finally get to the job. If you get it at all. Speaking of job processes, on either Monday or Tuesday next week, this week, however you want to take a look at it, the coming Monday or Tuesday, I start my new job. So that's going to be fun. Which that will most likely mean, though, I will be shifting my schedule around a little bit. But it should only be, I will be moving it a couple hours early. So. I am excited as one can be. It's a new job. I'll be working with Blimp's GF. So, she's the one that actually recommended me to the job and put in the good words so I could work there. So I'm pretty thankful for that. Yeah, but she said the first few weeks are just super lazy because you're doing training videos and stuff. Let me think this over if you don't mind, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh no, we are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today. Yeah, she's very helpful. May I know why? Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition. You won't be making any drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. Aw, they're glowing yellow. I'm assuming that means they're happy. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might come just for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Non-verbal signs, yes. That'll be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking, or when you should stop. Thank you. We'll need that so much. Well, that's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to keep your suit clean. And it differentiates you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation. It'll make you look more legit for the job. That is a very Earthling thing to do. Yo, Blimp, hello. Hi, how's it going? Haha, funny pun there. Totally spaced out. Yeah, this Neil is not from this planet, so... It is. Neil's like a hive mind or something, from what I gather. Alright then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay. Let's start the night. Not very cash money of you. Well, I mean, to be fair, you didn't really know. Welcome. Holy wow. What the hell is happening? Good evening, Miss Freya. Hey, Mallard, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. Popping in before bed, take it easy. Alright, sounds good. Good night, sleep well, and sweet dreams. And then also, Blimp, tell Megan thank you for everything for the job. So, Neil was just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around. Second, judging from the situation, good night, sleep well and sweet dreams, Blimp. See you probably tomorrow. If we do something else, you'll say. We are actually the person who is getting help from the barista, not the other way around. What? We have learned something since we arrived, and we came to a conclusion. Before starting another breeding mission, we should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought this place was the best place to learn. And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. I'm excited as well. I swear, there has to be a way for it to work right. There's just, I can't think, there has to be a way. I might... I'm thinking... Now, a while back, there was a bridge I burned down, relationship-wise, because I was being a little too reckless in a Minecraft server. But this Minecraft server had the Bedrock plugin, and people were able to join. Maybe not anime. I feel like that would be a very skewed aspect of communication. But yeah. I might reach out to them to see what they know about the Bedrock plugin, see if there's anything we can still do. Or rather, I can send you his thing and you can just ask him about it, if that makes any sense. It would be really weird out of the blue, so I don't know. Serve and communicate. Fair trade? What's in it for you then? What? You're helping them here. What do you get in return? Problems. Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't mention it. Well, maybe you can be my next story. I can write an article about your work here. Freya, you will deal with it eventually. Alright, if you say so, Ron. Oh, I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? The chief found out. Oh. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yes. Now did she find out? You remember my fateful meeting with the higher up? In the elevator? Yes. The same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift. And the higher up mentioned our encounter to her. The chief called me into her office, and things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that, hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know. We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya, but we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house. Huh? You allowed to do that? We will pay for the drink. One day at a time. Sometimes when things are going really tough, or when your schedule's, when you just can't handle things, everything, like the week, it's nice just to break it down day by day. Just to take it in bite-sized chunks. No, it's okay. It's on the house. That was the nice thing to do, Neil. That was the best thing to do according to our senses. It was. So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya? Your favorite. Our favorite? Anything. I trust you with the decision. Oh. Anything. Or did she just mean... anything. Ooh. If she means anything, I want to experiment. Let's do something with the chocolate. We haven't really done much. Or green tea, too. Milk, mint, honey, or vice versa. Alright, let's go. I'll try. Milk. Let's go with honey mint. Milky Way. Ayy. Here is your drink, especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop. Well, who else is gonna brew it? Thank you so much for this. I always wonder why your place only served hot drinks, but today I might have an idea why. How far along are you with the novel? I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about other deadlines, and if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood, that sounds doable, even without the caffeine infusion. Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about Earthlings' bodies, about all the races, and we do not think infusing your blood with coffee would be advisable. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation. It was just... Neil, Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee. Oh. We're glad to hear that, then. That was a figure of speech, Neil. Ah, we have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language. It will always be hard. Languages will keep on changing. Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask away. How fast do you write? Not fast enough, apparently. But do you have numbers? Numbers? How many words do you produce per day? I don't think I have the exact number. But full-time? I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. That is a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote. According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000. That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much. That is a pleasant information to hear. How many words do you need to write? Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's GRA Media. Biggest publisher around. If we count based on the number of words, It seems like you will be able to achieve your target easily. I wish. Writing is only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judge writers by their ability to write a large number of words. 6. We wouldn't have poetry or short stories. That is pretty hard to understand. But we learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter. Even for Earthlings. Yep. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand. From languages to arts. Right again. But you're not that wrong about writing, you know. Word count is one of the few things you can objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there. So it is still a valid parameter. Definitely. Cool. That didn't sound at all like you, Neil. Guess you really are learning something on Earth. Oh, I can... Oh, really? Oh, another guest. Oh. I'll have to read those. Hey, Ramus! Hey, how's it going? They actually came through this time. How's your day been? Yeah, it actually went through your scream as opposed for it to, like, unlike yesterday. Good evening, Miss Myrtle. It's been great. I'm glad to hear it's been great. I got like 8 to check. Oh no. I'll do that another time. I think I might have it in the end, like when I finish this up, that'll be one of the things I'll go back and visit. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. So coffee with a little bit of ginger. Now, does that mean she wants double ginger? Or does that mean she wants coffee, ginger, and something else? Zero! Hello, hi, how's it going? I think they're actually an orc, the big brothers and sisters to goblins, so. Coffee, coffee, ginger? Ooh, that's actually a good idea. Coffee, coffee, ginger. Jahe Turbrook. Your order is ready. Your order is ready. Not bad. Thanks. You are welcome. We're being seen here today, Miss Myrtle. Psst. Neil, some people come to the coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed. Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visits here. Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Ah. Pardon us. I was just training Neil how to talk with the customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid? Oh. No, we are not. They are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion, if you want to blend in with us, stop using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which, essentially, is not really listening at all. That would be very difficult to achieve. But we will try. Step by step. One small step for you. Have a Goblin Slayer thing for me? Ah, Goblin Slayer. Might be one giant leap for your kind. And was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then? We're be going through the roof. Yeah. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. Some are bad though. I mean, I think like every group has some bad apples and some more than others. What's the occasion? No special occasion. This is just... Yeah, you can just hear the noise. I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... What is this? What is happening here? I already told the barista to call the cops when he was going to breed here. Where is Mallet? Miss Aqua, please relax. I'm here. Yeah, I feel like the ratio between good apples, bad apples, and the ones who sit in the background, apples, I feel like the ratio is heavily outweighed towards the bad apples. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Whew. Okay. Please let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Low-hanging fruit. I mean, yeah. Feeling better now? Yes. I'm sorry. It is alright, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here. What are you doing here, anyway? We are starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So, here is the deal. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Malin. It's nothing, really. But do you really think one day is enough to learn everything? Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. Yes, she is a fish girl. Or maybe not necessarily fish, but ocean girl. Yes, I'd say that. She's got the gills, the fins, along with some tentacles. So this place cares about business. Besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start, but we cannot limit ourselves to just this place. Where do you want to go after this? Coachella. What? What are you going to do at Coachella? According to our research, there are many breedings happening during Coachella. That is why we decided that the event will be our next target. Well, you're not wrong. What did you say? The baby has to be born out of love? Yes, we noticed that. We also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding matters. That is what we will study in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings. I shouldn't say this, but hell. That sounds like the best plan you've had since you got here. We know. We are also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about our plan. We work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. Mythological monster, but not a race. Oh. I did not know. So our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing together? It's nothing. We're just friends, you know. Uh-huh. We just wanted to hang out and talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember? Or to sink any ship. I mean, Aqua herself, probably not. But what about other people like her? Yes, that's it. I don't believe I have that much experience in the game development, you see. I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I never made a game from scratch before. Little face with a shy personality. I was always a bystander. So, I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today I wanted to thank her directly, but she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I refused it anyway. But, wait. I wanted to thank her directly. Does that mean you're done with the game? Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your, not your. Oh, so you are correcting my grammar now, huh? It was a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. How'd you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. We just know. Back to you, Aqua. So, you're done with your game? That's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix. Players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. So what kind of feedback do you give your people for a video game? That depends on the game. But in Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing, control, and UI, UX. Ugh. Must be fun to have finished working on your creation. I wouldn't say you're being a prick, Rod. You surely remove some of the weight on my chest. Oh wait, no, that's wrong. Surely remove some of the weight on my chest. Just to replace it with another weight. You mean there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. If I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. I mean, after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya. But please be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know. After our first meeting, I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app. And then I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, you know. Some of them are better than others. But still an enjoyable experience to read them. So I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Muriel's going through. So I'm sure you'll do both just fine. So I'm sure you'll both be fine. What did I say? You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know? Okay. Okay. You were gifted Voidigo. What is that? You should play it. Or you gifted a... Oh, gifted Voidigo. Oh, gotcha. It's another streamer. Neat. Okay, okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm, I know that. People play a bunch and wanted it myself for a bit. Oh. Neat. Ugh, Aqua. I'm sorry if it sounded that way. I saw it. I could just get it. Nice. You now have one extra game to add to your library. But yeah, I kind of get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different for me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight. But no one outside the office knows about it. And those who do, don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Full Metal Conflict has a new game every 2 years. Yes. I'm doing quite fine. Story being good, yes. They're talking about game development. Something I have dipped my toes in ever so slightly a couple of times before. I think the only working prototype I've ever made of a game was in Asteroid Games I made in a tutorial. I've had some concepts though. Yeah, I'm doing quite fine. So thank you for asking, Ramus. I don't really work on them. Not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell you under friend NDA. Okay? Alright, I'm not with the paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. Oh shit. Breakthrough yawn. Forced. Okay. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP. Or, worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? Heh. That's what I thought. At first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write. For years. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team has been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands, out of all those countless pitches. Only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch. There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 samurai. That's what they said. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes our team works to support others when they're going through a crunch cycle. They need to hit an almost impossible target. Oh, not for broadcast. I think I've heard about that game before. It's about censorship and stuff. I think a while back I ended up watching someone do like a playthrough like the first day or like level or two, and I thought it was a pretty cool game, and it just came off my mind. Not for broadcasts. I'll have to add that to my wish list. We jump in. No wonder you folks were considered the 7 samurai. I guess, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When was the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined this company, I guess. Ooh. That's like 4 years ago. Uh-huh. Dude, no wonder you're so burned out. Huh. Yes, that's why. Oh, a taxi driver case. Here, let me just take a photo of this stuff. Photo taken. You need a vacation. But I can't just take one. You can. In fact, you will do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is... I'm not done yet. You will take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. But where should I go? Don't worry, I'll take care of that. The wrong suspects to be careful. So it reminds me of the game called The Return of the Obra Dinn. Where a ship that has 60, I think, plus people on it, and you have to determine who died, what killed them, and if anything, and who killed them, if what. No, I think it was like 60 people or so. Every single one, and the only thing you have to use it to help you with is a magic watch, stopwatch, which brings you back to the moment of the person's death. It's not 200 people, I assure you that, because there's, I think, a level for each person, or maybe not every single person, but yeah. I'm going with you for this long weekend vacation. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey, okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? Still a long weekend getaway, right? Alright. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry. Don't be. Okay, it's settled then. Yeah, 60. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway. I'll come with you. To my apartment? No, we'll walk together to the bus stop, just like last time. Oh, okay then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find joy during your vacation. Okay, see you folks later. That game, I think, is by far the best detective game or mystery game I have ever played. It's made by the same person who made Papers, Please. So, not to mention, it's set on a ship in the 1800s. Oh, that's so good. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know, but not now. I forgot to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, are you going to close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please, take your time. You sure? Do you want another drink to be going on with that? Still in the house? I definitely won't say no. Spanish Sahara. Warm and cozy, just like the day in Barcelona. Friday, October 2nd. What's in the news today? The Evening Whispers is with the people for stricter gun laws. Okay. New, healthier Fury sedative might be available sooner. Action video game Rising Hell blamed for violence in the school. Bro, really? Blaming violence on video games? That's a debate as old as the internet itself, I feel like. Welcome. Good evening, Mr. Baileys. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are. That's new. Freya's not here. She said she'd be coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends. Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Her friends have visited this place from time to time. Just not as much as her. Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about it when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. She has this habit, you know? If she says they're friends, it means they're just hanging out normally. When she says they were writer friends, they're probably talking about work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for meeting up. No, it's not like that. Should have even realized that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? Part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others, but their body language can be loud and clear. It can tell you a lot of things, whether they need a friendly ear or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well, because, you know, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I would have thought. So what are you reading for me now? I won't say. Why? That would break the charm. The hell was that? I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, it's always related to what I'm getting from their body language. Including our interaction now. Man, now I see why you didn't want to share. Even that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What are you having tonight? Hot chocolate. With ginger and cinnamon. I heard that's a good drink for bitter heart. Oh! With ginger and cinnamon. Ouch. Talk about rough. I can just do that. Okay. A bitter heart. Here you go. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink? Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Maverick, tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Anything. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop? Oh, man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that. It's alright. That's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder what I should ask next. Hello, everyone. Why are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You better ask what didn't happen. Because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Baileys. I won't be able to keep you company. Because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I need a whole hell of a lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You really should just rest. Get something to help you sleep. Espresso. Please. When you say important, Rod, what do you mean important? Are you saying that I could give her espresso and have her do whatever she wants to do? Or I make her something else that helps her put her to sleep? There's a very obvious name to it. Okay. Elemental. I sort of figured I don't have it discovered, Ron. I wanted to take a look at my list. Maybe something cool and warm? No. Let's try cinnamon. I want to make sure I don't make the Milky Way again. It's just milk, honey, and mint. Okay. How can something be so warm and cool at the same time? Let's try it. I'm just curious to see if this makes anything. No, cinnamon milk. Just realized you. Oh, thank you. When I was picking out my avatar when I first started up, this one just spoke to me. So, honey and cinnamon. Cinnamon honey. Let's try this. No, let's try it the other way around then. Cinnamon honey? Because I had honey cinnamon. Worst case scenario, we just give her espresso, but bed chamber. Ooh, here we go. Here you go. What the hell, dude? Did I just get an achievement? Serve the wrong drink for the first time. This isn't even coffee. Drink. But this isn't what? Drink. Okay. It's on the house. It better be. How's the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice, but also means things. And not a small number of them, mind you, need to be rewritten. Oh. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. What is this achievement? Listen to all the songs? Yo. Mucked up. Yeah, I think I'll sort it on purpose there, so Freya can actually get some sleep as opposed to forcing herself on things, which is not the best way to comprehend things. It's just that, it's just... I'm going to my usual corner. Although, thanks to your drink, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stay awake or not. She looks horrible. She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. Isn't it the first time she's acted like this? Just look up, like, taxi cab murder mystery game. No. But this time, the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to think you're subconscious then. Or night something. Night late. Try that, Rod. I guess you should... Oh? Not sure whether I think it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Baileys. How... Night call. There you go, Ron. You first. No, you first. You first. I was just going to ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Mallard. What are you having this evening, Miss Lua? If your brain is hurting, Rod, then drink some water and get some rest. Gingerbread coffee, please. Gingerbread coffee. So, coffee is the base. Then ginger and cinnamon. I think one just burnt down. Well, I looks like you had 4 engines and now you're running on 1. Hopefully that last brain cell can land the plane, you know. Gingerbread coffee. Coffee, ginger. Why does my brain say cinnamon? Still too better than Spencer by what he said. Oof. That's rough. Coffee, ginger. Or maybe milk? Because I know it's part ginger. And I guess it's either cinnamon, honey, or milk. the question is, what's the primary and what the second? I want to say primary is the ginger. Well, what's the secondary? Honey, cinnamon, milk, more coffee. Say cinnamon? Okay, that's just that was my gut feeling. Gingerbread coffee. Cool. Here it is. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. Reminds me so much of her. Reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. That does look pretty tasty. How's work? It's going pretty okay. You? I'm not taking any new jobs at the moment. Because, well, you know. Yeah, I get it. You have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask. But yeah, I do. Thanks to the last annoying job. It went well in the end? It kinda did. They paid me on time at least. And the pay was amazing. How long are you planning to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this, but don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Mallard, who's standing in front of us. Not even Mallard. Okay. So, there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years. We're not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. It wasn't anything new, but somehow things escalated uncontrollably. Why is that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to stop the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe. Or tiredness. Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find the best solution for everyone anyway. Bailey's. I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really? If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. Maybe you dum-dums, yeah. They're in that awkward moment, you know, it's like just like what their status is, you know. What's next for us, Baileys? I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week. Including that supermodel. You knew? That girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including that supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool. What? He said a lot of things I've been trying to avoid thinking about. A lot of truths. He's a bit like you know? Attitude-wise. You'd get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. See what's going on much over here? Don't worry about it too much, Aramis. Ever heard of that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after all that listening to that guy, what's your stance on, you know, us? Yes, Hyde, the model vampire who just states truths. I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you, yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire, and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds, indeed? What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Baileys, I know I've been stubborn about you wanting me to make peace with my family, and I know why that's very important for you. But Freya said something that kind of hit me hard. Never tell me the odds. What is it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family. Well, when I actually want to do that anyway. For myself. You know me, Baileys. I do. You know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families. Which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. What should we do? Lua? Yes, Baileys? Please let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. That sounds like the easier thing to do, after all. But you'll lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people sounds great. You'll live a long time. But you won't have the perfect health and the perfect life that's the elven privilege. Or it's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? Ramus is, I think, is becoming a cat. Do you think Ramus is secretly Rachel's sister in this game? The cat superstar? Or brother, I mean. Or other, I don't know, sibling. I don't know why I defaulted to that, but yeah. You have lost everything. You'll blame me? Lua, I will never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would never have blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. Sure. That's one possibility, Ron. Yeah, I mean, elves do live for a long time. But in this, they're immortal unless they break ties or something. But how long do succubi live for? Because that's what she is. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So you don't need to worry about any of that. Yeah, relationship-wise, it's a very... I think it's supposed to be sort of, you know, the whole forbidden love thing here. But, I don't know, I still think it's... They're playing it out quite nice. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life. Because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Baileys, I believe in you. What? Love of my life achievement. Yo. Lua. Baileys. I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow, Saturday. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. and I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. You already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. It's just... I'm not prepared to meet them. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first? It'll be alright. Well, they never forbade you from dating other races. They're not a big fan of elves, that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure. I can trust you. Lua, thank you. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Huh? Well, what about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Mallard. Yeah? We're leaving. Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. The pleasure was mine. We're off then. See you. Yes, the one on the right is an elf. Ooh, now that would be a twist if Myrtle was her roommate. Yeah, it's an elf on the right and a succubus on the left. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing the story. So I have to see their struggle through till the end. It's important for the writing, you know. A succubus, yes. As in a demon. A demon succubus. And well, and you know, it was stated that she was a player in college. She's settled in with Bailey's now, so. And vice versa. I mean, they were both players, and then they, through a weird thing, ended up dating each other. So it's important for the writing, you know. Hopefully, yeah, everything goes well with them. That's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that. Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how I feel until it's done. And I don't. Oh. Oh, yeah. She wasn't a player. Rose was the player. That's right. Gala, calm down. That might be Gala, right? It has the same, like, gown. Whoa! Freya, get over here. This wolf? Is that him? I think so. Welcome, sir. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me. He might have his reasons for coming here. Let me just double check real quick. Tea, milk, and ginger in that order. Cool. I just wanted to double check. You can relax, sir. Do you need anything? Do right or someone may die. Oh boy. Something to calm me down, maybe. Tea, milk, and ginger. Tab back to the werewolf. Tea, milk, ginger. Yeah. Gala had a fit. Here's your... I lycanthrope. This is gonna muck stuff up. Yeah, give them a nice little drink. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%. Well, whoever he is. Yeah, I saw his animation slowing down, and then he also sort of just like seemed to like relax a bit. This place survived. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back alright by yourself? I'll manage. Take care on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See ya. Damn. Sugar and spice. Spicy, sweet, and natural bliss in a cup. Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. Yeah, that was a bit intense. Coachella 2020. Do's and don'ts. Atlantic ambassador in talks with FIRE regarding immigration. Weirdstein Company criticized for unfair depictions of werewolf in their latest box office hit. Welcome. Hey, Mallard. Good evening, Freya. You look very cheerful today. And it's all thanks to you. What did I do? I finally got a good night's sleep last night. Like, I slept like a log. A proper 12 hours of closing my eyes and not thinking about anything. Good for you. You really needed that. I know. But I had the deadline coming. I've been pushing myself to finish this draft. A bit too much, I guess. So, how's it going now? You won't believe this. Probably will. When I woke up this afternoon, the words just flowed through me like water. And not force crap like I've been writing recently. That's why taking a break is important. Yeah. You don't need to start lecturing me now. So what's your plan now? Now, as in right as this moment, I plan to go to the bathroom and wash my face. And after that, I'll continue writing. Sounds like a solid plan. You know where the restroom is. Okay, I need something to drink now. Freya, you're unemployed. Don't waste your money on coffee shop drinks. That is so weird. Coming from the coffee shop owner. I know. You've been a regular for years. You only need the vibes of the place. Just right here. No, I can't do that. You don't have any customers tonight. What would I do if this place went bankrupt? It won't happen. She would still be sitting here with her head against the wall. Ah, gotcha. How can you be so sure? Just take this tap water and go do your work, okay? But... oh my, regular water. See, there's a customer coming in right now, so don't you worry about me. Oh. Right, without doing shit. Gotcha. Hi, Gala. What's wrong? I know you're a man of few words, but this is maybe pushing it a bit. Freya. Mallard. I'm truly very sorry for what happened yesterday. Gala. Hey, it's alright. No one got hurt, right? And the coffee shop's fine. Don't think about it too much, Gala. Like Freya said, No casualties and no problems with the coffee shop. I still need to redeem myself for the mess I made. And the scare I gave you. Yes, this is the same man, right? This is his normal form. I'm sure there's something I can do. Why don't you buy something for the lady here? I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Hey, what do you mean? Do you want anything to drink, Freya? No, it's alright, Gala. I insist. You don't have to. Please accept it. At least it will help me stop feeling so guilty. At least a little. Alright, alright. I wouldn't mind a coffee, not an espresso, mind you. Something with a little less of a kick. You know how to make sugar and spice? The one with cinnamon? Yes. Cup of sugar and spice, please. Cup of sugar and spice. Isn't that... So a coffee, honey, and cinnamon? It's the only thing we have like sugar. Sugar and spice. I think I've already started that one before. Sugar and spices for the lady with the vices. Hey. Oh well, I won't complain. Thank you, Gala. Don't mention it. Mallard, are you sure there's nothing I can do for you? You don't have to do anything, Gala. It's fine. But to be honest, I'm curious. What happened yesterday? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you usually stay indoors during the full moon, don't you? I usually do. But there was an emergency at the hospital yesterday. What kind of an emergency? The hospital was really packed yesterday. After that announcement? The one saying that a replacement government issued Fury sedative will be available soon. Releasing that news on the day of the full moon was just stupid. So many restless werewolves came, asking about the sedative, which isn't ready yet. But the announcement said it wasn't ready, just that it was coming soon. You think people read the whole article? They only saw the headline, or glanced at it in the news stall. Then they went straight to the hospital. I don't blame them, though. Finding out that the only publicly available sedative is dangerous is difficult for some people. I ended up having to explain it to dozens of werewolves. I even had to put some rogue werewolves in the isolation rooms. It was that bad, huh? Yeah, to the point that we ran out of rooms to put them in. That's why, at the end of my shift, I left immediately. Normally, I'd ask for a friend to lock me in one of the isolation rooms, of course. But I couldn't, so I rushed back to my apartment. But it was too late. Thankfully, I was in this area. I managed to force myself to come to your place. Gala, excuse me for asking this. Yes? But you didn't hurt anyone on the way here, right? As far as I remember, no. I didn't see any blood on my clothes. That's good to hear. So I sound overly confident, considering what happened yesterday. But I have enough control to make sure I don't hurt anyone. As long as I have something to direct my fury towards, usually I end up destroying stuff around me. Or, worst case, hurting myself. Despite all of that, I'm still glad that no one got hurt. Always looking for the positive side, aren't you? Just doing my job. Thanks, both of you. I really mean it. But please, is there anything I can do to pay back? I mean, is there anything I can do to help? Please don't hesitate to ask me right away. Will do. In the meantime, can I order a drink? Sure, what are you having? The same as yesterday. Tea, milk, ginger. Really? Well, good to know. I ended up saving someone's life by making him a drink. Here's your special brew. Thank you. The drink that saved me. Once again, thank you for helping me find this drink. By the way, Gal, now that you can be 100% sure that the drink is your natural sedative, why don't you put some in a bottle and carry it with you everywhere? That's the plan. It has to be warm, though. Yeah. Damn, though. The drink that saved, yeah. A bit of an understatement there. Jeez. I can use a vacuum flask, I suppose. I'll give it a try next full moon. Don't worry, Freya. I'm going to stay at my place for the next full moon. I'm not taking any risks before I can make sure how effective that remedy is. Whew. What the? Rachel? What's going on? Ha! What else? Your father? Of course. What the hell was he thinking? I mean, backstage at Coachella. Just to get into an argument with my manager. Huh? Before we continue, Mallard, a cafe latte, please. Cafe latte. That one's pretty simple, right? Yeah, coffee, milk. Coffee, milk. Yes, the pouting face was real. Latte art. Alright, just make the entire thing milk. So then what if we just... What does this do? I don't really know what's going on. So we'll just... Fancy. Serve it. Your cafe latte's ready. It is for pouring milk. Oh, gotcha. Thanks. How did he manage to get backstage? He told security he was my father, and he messaged me about coming beforehand. Said he was just going to wish me luck. So I told him to let him in, of course. He still was my father. Things were nice at first. Then my manager came. And... I don't know why he hates him so much. It's showbiz. I'm mature enough to know what's good or bad for me. What happened after that? Mr. Lester told the security guards to kick him out. He's still allowed in the festival area. I saw him in the crowds. The concert go well, at least? Oh, yeah. Other than the arguments backstage, everything was great. I was the first one to play on the main stage. Usually no one pays much attention to whoever's on first. There were thousands of people in the audience during my session. Nice. So you don't need to be at the event anymore after this? Not really. I did my stage time. Then there was this press conference after my show. After show press conference? Yeah, the pre-show was done yesterday. Today was a small one. There was almost a dozen journalists who wanted to interview me. So we decided to just do a mini conference. Good for you. You're totally back in the game, huh? I guess I am. Thanks to Mr. Lester. I would say it's because of you. But your manager probably worked some of his influence too. So why are you here? Because of Dad, of course. I told him to come here this evening. Really need to set things straight. You need to stop messing with my manager so much. And because this evening is the only time we can meet, I can't get to the party Mr. Lester is hosting. What party? He's hosting a party for the VIPs and RSC managers. And it's a club in Belltown. Is it okay for you to go to the party without a guardian? I'm 18, remember? I'm an adult. Yeah, but you can only enter some clubs if you're 21. Not this time, because Mr. Lester's my manager and it's his party. I'm not sure about that. It's true. No, I know you can do that by using his name. I don't think he should do that with you. Why? I'm an adult. No, you're not, Rachel. Have you ever been to one of Lester's parties? Well, no. You have? Not personally. I've heard stories. Oh, what stories? He knows how to party. That's good then. That's not necessarily a good thing. Knowing how to party might mean something else entirely. I don't know what you're talking about. You'll find out. Especially if you keep Lester on as your manager. Personally, I don't mind wild parties, but inviting an underage person to his party, that might be a bit too far. Welcome, huh? Oh. What the hell? Oh no! Dad! What? Rachel, is that Mr. Hendry? Yes. Dad, what happened? Mallory, can you get a cup of milk for him, please? Just milk? Just milk. Meow. Should I just get him some milk rod, or should I get him something else? Maybe, how about Lementhol? Shadows that now help you try to hide. A warm and calming darkness. Warm and cozy, just like a day in Barcelona. Berries for the heart. Russian healthy drink for work. I'm just clearing all of these alerts. The kitties are back, yes. One of them is sadly beat up. Yeah, kitty got spanked. It's got a black eye. Oh my god, so many. Yes, I will say I'm just getting rid of all these alerts because they were annoying me. Milk. Milk. Here. He just pours the cup sideways. Nothing spills out. Thank you. Dad, please hold on. Can somebody help me call an ambulance, please? They're on their way. I've contacted the hospital. Thank you. I've also contacted our Neko Mimi expert personally. She's off shift right now, but she's also on the way. Thank you so much. I don't know what might have happened without your help. Don't mention it. Here they come. I'll go with you. Okay. Ooh, boy. That was really something, huh? Yeah. 2 days in a row. An emergency at your place. Well, at least some people think of your place as their go-to when they need help. You're right. It's not every day you look at things from the bright side. Ha! Well, I'm one of your coffee shop disciples, right? So I kind of understand them. I hope Hendry's alright. Me too. At least he's in good hands now. What's your plan for the rest of the night? Well, that was all pretty hectic, but I need to continue writing. Take your time and place then. 3 streams is pain. Oh, it's on the next egg. Spoilers, Rod. Spoilers. No, it was pretty obvious. Sort of like how with Gala yesterday and today, but yeah. Will do. Bedchamber, a cup of for those longing for a deep slumber. No, I kid, Rod. It's fine. Sunday, October 4th, 2020. Police raid on private Coachella after party. His biggest drug and sex-related bust of the year. Fight broke out during Coachella. Culprits in police custody. Despite the arrest, Coachella will go on. Welcome. Hey, Pop. Good evening, everyone. Everyone's safe and sound tonight? So far, so good, officer. The cop who's supposed to be watching this area hanging out in a coffee shop. I'm not so sure about that. Hey, I'm working right now. I just love multitasking, you know? That requires skill. Taking a break and working at the same time, you mean? You know it. That's an oxymoron. That's why I said it requires skill. Anyway, Mel, I really need an espresso to keep me awake tonight. An espresso, you say? Espresso it is. An energetic espresso to keep our officer upright on patrol. You and your sense of humor. Your espressos are always out of this world. Nothing better than mine or the wives. It's not a competition, officer. It is for her. She thought if she could make a better one, I'd stop coming to this place so often. That's not happening anytime soon. So anything special today? Surprisingly, no. Gotta make sure this place is safe, though. What are you grinning about? Amina. You were here the last 2 days, right? Yes, I was. And some crazy things happened here. And 2 days in a row. As if the gods are trying to give me first-hand experience. To use in my story. Still fretting over your story, eh? Well, the deadline for my draft is getting nearer. Oh, yeah. How's it going? Quantity-wise, it's shaping up pretty well. Quality-wise, honestly, I'm pretty confident. Best of luck, then. Do you have any updates about the last 2 days of chaos? For the werewolf case, I spoke to Gala about it. What? Are you going to arrest him? Some officers at the precinct were talking about it. But in the end, we agreed not to do it. Because he really helped a lot that night. We asked the folks in the hospital, and some other people in the area. Without him, we'd have a lot more problems. He helped a lot, getting most of the werewolves safe in the hospital. Too bad he couldn't lock himself up in time. Thankfully, he didn't hurt anyone. So those who'd rather detain him can't do anything anyway. Whew. I'd be pretty mad if they did arrest him. Hey, being mad at me wouldn't solve anything. I know. What about Rachel's dad? Any idea what happened? I'm not too sure myself. Most of it didn't happen around here. What? Yeah, it seems like it happened down near Coachella. That's a long way away. I mean, it's not actually that far. You want to be able to walk it. Not in that state. So far, that's all I know. Rachel. Rachel? Is Mr. Hendry alright? Before that, Can I have a cup of hot chocolate? Dark. Dark heart chocolate. I speak real well. Yeah, okay, just chocolate. Right. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Let's just go with dark hot chocolate, even though it's not even warm at all. Your hot chocolate's ready. Thank you. Dad's going to be fine. He woke up this afternoon, thanks to Mr. Gala. Father and daughter, yo! What's this one? Finish Rachel and Hendry's arc. Oh, damn. He got help fast enough to stop things getting worse. He's doing okay then? It'll take a few days before he fully recovers. But no permanent injuries we need to worry about. That's good to hear. I know. But still, it's all because of me. Because I didn't listen to him. When all he wanted to do was protect me. Rachel, don't blame yourself for this. Please, don't take offense. But is it okay for you to leave your father alone in the hospital? His friends are there in the moment, and I can't face being stuck in a room with a bunch of people I don't even know right now. Besides, I really need to get away for a bit. So I told Dad I'm going to visit Coffee Talk to get some fresh air. He's okay with that? He understands. He always does, I guess. Ms. Rachel, what really happened last night? Dad got into a fight with some thugs. He heard them talking about me. In some very suggestive, perverted ways. Oh. He didn't like that, of course. So he morphed into his cat form and started a fight with the thugs. Why did he morph? So people wouldn't see what his human form looked like and link him directly to me. Some cops went to the crime scene. They found some eyewitnesses to testify, and they managed to find the thugs. Are they a fan of yours? No. It's even worse. They work for Mr. Lester. What? Oh boy. The reason why it didn't take long for the cops to find them was because they were already under arrest. Because of the party went too far last night. Whoa! How did it all connect up? They're Mr. Lester's bodyguards. They were chilling after the show, having a pre-party before the big one. And you know about guys and locker room talk, right? Yeah? Well, that's what they were doing. And that was the topic of discussion. So there's that. I'm sorry to hear that. And you were right about his party. I'm glad I wasn't there. Once again, I owe Dad for... Hey, it's okay. The most important thing right now is that you're safe. And your dad made it through. I should have listened to him. He might be out of touch, but he's still way more experienced than me. And he's my father. I wish Mom was here. She'd know what to do. She'd know what to say to Dad when he's recovered. You know what? I'm sure you'll know what to do. You're an adult, remember? But I don't know. All I know is I have to be there for him when... That's it. That's all you have to do. It might be weird to hear about it, about something coming from Freya, but she is right. Be there when he needs you, Rachel. And whenever you need a breath of fresh air, you can come here and relax for a while. Guys, thank you. I've had enough fresh air for one day. I'll go back to the hospital now. Thank you for your update, Miss Rachel. I wish your father a speedy recovery. Thank you, Mallard. Man, what a weekend. Pretty crazy, I know. Anyway, I've got to continue my patrol. It's been a pretty weird weekend. Yes, now we know what happened. Almost like that Mr. Lester guy was a fucking creep after all. But overall, things are still safe around here. Even with that, never let your guard down, okay? No problem, officer. Thank you for checking up on us, Officer Georgie. Okay then, see ya. Are you gonna leave as well, Freya? I don't think so. I've had enough rest. And I have stories to write. You're not tired? Definitely not. In fact, I think I can get it done today. Alright. I won't bother you then. No, you're never a bother. Besides, this whole book project would never have existed without this place. And you. So, thank you. The pleasure was mine. Now, I'm sure you shouldn't spend any more time on chit-chat. You've got a book to finish. No problem, boss. A warm and calming darkness. Two weeks later? Yo, fast forwarding a bit. Coachella Festival proves to be a major boost for Seattle tourism. More women have spoken out and claimed Morris Lester lied. Initial reports indicate possible herpes outbreak at Coachella. Oh God. Hello. Tap it out again. What happened? We got an update as to what happened. The manager for Rachel was a complete perverted drug head asshole, and has been a womanizer and abuser and something like along the lines of that. And then her father, the beat up cat, came in, or ended up beating up some thugs because they were bad mouthing his daughter, and he wouldn't cat floor him, that way he wouldn't be connected. So yeah. Luckily though, Rachel herself was fine, so you're finally here. Hey y'all. Hey. Yo. Hi Freya. Someone's feeling happy today. Of course. Did they... Oh yeah, also the party he was hosting ended up being one of the largest drug and sex busts. So, or whatever, something like that. Did they... They approved it. We're so happy for you. Congrats. Oh my. Do you know how happy I am? Judging from your expression. I'd say somewhere between ecstatically and rapturously. You're goddamn right. Oh my god. Oh my god. How do they react to the draft? To be honest, they're not that excited about the story itself. A story with an unhappy ending, huh? That's what they said. But at this point, I don't really care. As long as they publish it, I'm content with that. Anyway, whatever happens with the book now, I can take things a little slower. Because they gave me a year to finish it. With a feedback session every month. Sounds professional enough. Of course, they are the biggest publisher around. Enough about me. How's the coffee shop been doing? It's been great. I've had a lot of new customers lately. And some old timers, of course. I heard Hyde's back from his trip to Korea. Yeah. He brought us some gifts back. He didn't get any for me? I'm not sure. But he did say he always gives gifts directly. Gift giving the old-fashioned way, huh? How about you? Things are great. Last time I saw you was before your mini break? Yes, and we decided to go to Coachella. Wow! That event was a mess. Yeah, 3 hours of the festival was enough for us. So where'd you go after that? We ended up in Port Townsend. How was it? I enjoyed it. Never knew a historical trip could be fun. Oh yeah, I saw your new profile picture, Aqua. Yeah, new profile pic. What? Neil Aqua. Yo, look at the researcher, a mermaid from Atlantis and a friendly introverted tea lover. Favorite things: Full Metal Conflict, video games in general, grandma. Yeah, trying to find a place. And then we have Myrtle. Game developer, working on Full Metal Conflict series. Favorite things: me time. What I'm doing with my working on Full Metal Conflict series. Very straightforward. I didn't get anything with Neil because I never got his drink set up, but that's fine. Oh yeah, I saw your new profile picture, Aqua. You both look so cute. Oh man. Thanks. Was that taken during your vacation? No. It was at Max. They had a Japanese style photo booth there. So I forced her to take a picture together. You were at Max too, Myrtle? Yeah. I helped her out a bit with the booth. Thank you. You don't have to keep thanking me. By the way, have any of you heard from Neil? No? Not me? They did send 2 postcards to the coffee shop. Really? Yeah, one's from Coachella. That's not even that far away. Why send a postcard? They're hard to tell with them. What about the second one? It's from New York. What? What are they doing in New York? Beats me. We're on their mission, maybe. Yeah, probably. They stand more of a chance there. Anyways, guys, we're leaving for the night. Ooh, oh, come on. So soon? We were here for hours before you arrived. And we need to work tomorrow. Fair enough. Take care on your way then. Good luck with the novel. Thanks. See you, Mallard. See you around. They look happy when I first met them. They do. It's not easy to find someone you can be comfortable with in such a short amount of time. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you, Baileys. No worries. I don't feel ignored at all. Are you by yourself tonight? No, I'm waiting for Lua. She has some work to do. This late at night? Yeah. She's been doing overtime for the past few days. How are the two of you doing? Things have been great. In fact, after 10 years together, we're finally moving in together next month. Whoa, congrats! But I thought Lua lived with her flatmate. We're moving to a new place. She got promoted recently, and her company's providing her with an apartment. Wow, she must be a really big deal in her office. Well, she definitely earns more than me. That's not saying much, Baileys. You shouldn't say that to a fellow freelancer. Oh, here she comes. Baileys, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it to take so long. I thought it would be done by... Honey, it's alright. Freya and Mallard have been keeping me company anyway. Oh, hey Freya. I'm Mallard. Sorry for barging in without saying hi. How's it going? I would say things are great, but not as great as you two lovebirds. You told her already? Only about the moving in part. As you've heard, we're going to be moving together next month. Where is it? Not far. I mean, the company provided the place, so they want to cut my community costs as much as possible. That's thoughtful of them. It means they don't need to reimburse my taxi fees when I'm working overtime. Oh yeah, that too. It also means we get to visit this place more often. That's a good point. We owe this coffee shop a lot anyway. Don't mention it. I have a question for both of you. Go on. The last time we met, I believe you were going to introduce Baileys to your parents. How'd that go? Man, Your father didn't kill me, at least. Well, at least Papa let you eat lunch with us. That's rare, you know. I know, and at least they didn't say no, which means a lot, I guess. It was a good start. It was definitely a good start. Anyway, Bailey's, we need to go now, or we'll miss the intro again. Folks, going somewhere? Yeah, we're going to watch the midnight screening of Full Metal Conflict. I didn't take you for someone who likes FMC, Lua. I don't, but this guy loves it. Hey, you always enjoyed watching me playing the game. I enjoyed watching you, not the game. Too bad I didn't introduce you to Myrtle just now, Bailey's. She worked on the game. Really? Oh well, I'll be visiting this place more often. I'll probably meet her again one of these days. You probably will. Now go, you love birds. You don't want to miss the movie. Alright, catch up with you later, Freya. Bye, Mallard. Enjoy the movie. There you go. I'm so happy for them. They've still got a long way to go. And probably a lot of obstacles in their path. But they're moving forward. Yes. How you write their story. As it is. It's beautiful enough. And it has enough drama. That's one way to put it. Anyway. What's that look for? You haven't told me about any of our other friends here. How are they doing? You only skipped coming for 10 days. What do you expect? Come on, they played an important part in my writing process, remember? Well, there are some updates about the regulars. Tell me. Where should we start? Who? Lua visits this place more often now that they live nearby. The last time they came, they were talking about catering and venues. Hyde returned from his trip to Greer and brought gifts, some were more special than others. He said he's considering moving back to Seattle if his agency allows it. Nice. Aqua continues her work with the university. She's still working on small indie games. The difference is she's not alone now. Aw, look at the two of them. Neil. The only news about them are the 2 postcards they sent me. Rachel is back at a recording studio preparing for her first solo album. She found a new manager, someone who made the news as a legend coming back into the industry. And finally, Freya. She finished her book, get published, and have some signing sessions. Sadly, the book didn't sell well. She still visits regularly, now working as a freelance writer. Oh. Oh, it's Putchy Cuffs, yeah. Not giving up on her dream. Well, that was something. I'm assuming that, is there a ending to where the book sells well? I went wrong for Freya, yeah. Really, the ending wasn't the right one, Rod. I couldn't tell. Ooh, localizations. The bedchamber is the right option. I sort of figured for that one. It must have been something I've done earlier. The other shouldn't matter as much. Well, apparently it did, or something else in the story affected it. I don't know. Shiny key to skip. Yeah, Neil is supposed to have more stuff, but I just never got his drinks right or anything, so. There's a spark. Oh, what the hell? Finish Skallos and Hyde's arc. Welcome. Hello, Mallard. Yeah, the last time we saw Neil, I got the drink right. But he was working with us, so it didn't even matter. Hello, Mallard. Good evening, sir. Have we met before? I'm sure this is your first time here. Of course I've been here. In fact, I've worked here before. What? Wait. No way. Is that really you? It's been a while. You've changed. A bit too much. I've learned a lot about how to live with your people since then. I assume it was a success then. Multiple successes. What's with the new look then? Just trying to blend in. It seems like an Earthling immigration agency is after me. Now that you mention it, somebody did visit this place looking for you. When was it? Not so long after your second visit here. Was he a bald guy in a suit? Yes. That FIRE agent. You've seen him? Yes. Thankfully, I've changed my appearance since then. By the way, you can drop the act in front of me. So, you finally noticed. To think that such power can be born from our kind. You're good with your act, though. It took a few tries. But there are some timelines where I forgot to pretend that I don't have some knowledge of certain stuff. Interesting. Now I'm curious to know about those mistakes. Well, it happened a few times. First, when Freya told me about her meeting in the elevator. Then it was the first time Rachel visited this place. The last one involved you on your second visit. Huh? Oh, and there was another one right after Freya got her draft approved. Can you show it to me? Assuming you know how I communicate with my kind. Never tried it, but let's see. You've beaten the main story of the game, but you haven't seen everything yet. Interstellar support. Ah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, just give him the right drink. Of course, you don't know what the drink is. Help Neil to help you. Okay. Interesting. Sounds like I'm going to have to do another stream or two of this. Big surprise. That's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's just going to be the D&D and the SMP stuff. So, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, D&D, SMP, and since I'll probably be streaming the SMP part, I don't know. It's another stream. It would be cool, yeah, because I mean, I've already played I've already played the thing through here on stream. May as well finish it on stream, everything, right? But yeah, seeing as how depending on tomorrow is a big day. Because tomorrow is the day I find out whether I start work on Monday or Tuesday. If I start work on Monday, I will probably either stream earlier in the day, like shifting my schedule like 2 hours beforehand, or I might just count the Minecraft SMP as a part of it, or drag that on to the point to like midnight or something, because I might have to wake up early. I might actually have work in the morning for once, as opposed to in the evening. So that might be something I have to deal with. So if that is a thing that is frequently occurring, do expect my schedule to shift over a couple hours earlier. For all those who are wondering. But yes. Thank you everyone for joining me with Coffee Talk. Short and sweet, but there's still a lot more to come. Or tabbing back in again. Are you doing good? Yes, we just we finished the game, but there's still more going on. There's like multiple endings and stuff, different endings for people. Apparently, we did not get the happy ending for Freya. So, not to mention, I did not get the right drink for Neil once at all. So yeah, I'll be doing that probably the next week. Yeah, probably next week. Tomorrow is going to be the SMP stuff. And I'll be a part of Blimp's D&D thing. And yeah, I might stream Tailspire tomorrow. I don't know. It just depends on how things goes. But yes. And then after that, it will just be the regular Stardew Valley this time, because I still have yet to get the Going Medieval thing fixed. So we'll be doing more Stardew Valley. But yes, thank you everyone for popping in. It's always a pleasure. I'll just go and exit this out right now. Yes, it's always a pleasure. I am tilted over the. There we go. It's always a pleasure. It's always nice talking to you guys. But yeah. If it's morning for you, good morning. If it's evening or afternoon time for you, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you have a good rest of your day. If you're watching this through the VOD, I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Rymus, it's fun. It's afternoon here. Well, good afternoon, Rymus. Also, yeah, like keep being amazing. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself amazing, but I try to make people happy. So if I made you happy by playing this game, then goal accomplished. But yes, if it's nighttime for you, or if you're about to go to bed, good night, sleep well, and sweet dreams. But regardless of what time it is, have fun. Oh, and don't die.